This is a very close game. However, Shake and Bake is very behind in both upgrades and army supply. However, Shifty is going with a pure Bio Ball force that is very weak against all of these tanks. Shake and Bake even starting to catch up in the food, now only around 20 supply behind. And in the workers tab, Yellow still has that huge lead. You can see in his main he has a lot of SCVs, and in his natural a lot of SCVs. 66 SCVs to the 42 of Red. More medevacs and more bio coming out, but here are the tanks now. These tanks can make a huge difference once they start coming into play. The sensor tower now up for Red. He can see almost everything. He sees every unit that comes by. I think Yellow here trying to make it look like he has a drop coming around. At the same time, Red still massing up Marines and tanks. Another factory going down to make more tanks, and so many barracks. Oh my goodness. Both players doing a great job of good macro, keeping their money low. Yellow just hitting 1,000 minerals for the first time at the 15-minute mark. Red almost at 1,000 minerals as well. Red trying to expand, but not really sure where to expand to. This base expands closer to his opponent than he would like. Meanwhile, over here, many Marines holding off this Banshee, as well as getting turrets down for this third to be completely secured. The Banshee thinking about coming in. Oh, the Banshee found a good spot. Gonna take out some more SCVs. Every chance this he sees Yellow leave his base, Red tries to do more and more damage. Now he's found this nice safe spot where he doesn't have to move and he can just do all the damage he wants. If we check the workers killed tab, both players have been doing a great job of killing off workers. Total of 13 workers at this point, but Yellow has Vikings out, and these can be devastating to these Banshees, who surprisingly cannot shoot into the air and thus have a very difficult time against Vikings. This orbital command just now morphing in to lift over here, but Yellow will definitely be able to spot it. Meanwhile, the Bio Ball is just about everywhere for Yellow. He seems to have units all over the map. There's nowhere where he doesn't have units because he has the superior macro. He's back to a good 20 food supply ahead of his opponent. These tanks still stuck in the corner of their base here. A little bit of a mishap here. Red losing a bunch of units to try and scout out this army, thinking that it had left at this point, but no, there's still units all over the map. As we go to the production tab, Yellow is getting 3 upgrades for his infantry. They will be done in a couple minutes, trying to use this push from Red to try and secure this expansion. What he doesn't know is that Yellow will spot it easily. More and more tanks coming out for Yellow. Once all of these tanks get together, this will be a huge engagement. He's got the Viking superiority right now, especially with all these Marines that Red continues to make. They can take a lot of damage from these tanks and from this Bio Ball. Not to mention that this Bio Ball does have the threat of lifting up and dropping into this base, which is why Red has to leave so many tanks behind in his own base. Now, 2 Marines stimming to try and get a good scouting info off. Banshee's coming back into harass for Red. The multitasking of Red is quite amazing, but however, he has lost these rocks, and Yellow is going to take advantage of that. And now the gold starting to go down. Yellow almost maxed. We'll have to push out soon. Can secure this gold. Even trying to secure this base, which is already done. This Banshee finally goes down in the back of this base. Huge drop in the middle of the map, taking out middle of his base, taking out the tanks up here, trying to take out as many units as he can. All these tanks very immobile, can barely get up. All of these heading straight into the production facilities, doing so much damage. Tanks just popping out, all dying, taking out as many facilities as can. The factory is about to go down. Another tank goes down, focusing down all of these turrets. Barracks about to go down. Gets it before it goes. Tanks coming in to try and siege up, but the stim forward is going to take out a bunch of these tanks. So much damage from this drop. Almost unbelievable. Finally goes down, but Red is left with 3 tanks, a couple of Marines and a Viking, several buildings on fire. This supply depot, this factory is at half health and needs another tech lab in order to continue tank production, and there's still a full army here in the middle of the map and here in front of his base. It's almost unbelievable how strong Yellow is. He's going to take another expansion, and what is that? Oh, another starport near his gold. He's transferring SCV, still near max. 3-3 is just about to finish, and he's gonna push out when that does. 1-0 attack for his siege tanks already done, while Red Terran is just now getting level 2 attack for his infantry and level 1 attack for his tanks. The upgrade advantage for Yellow is huge. A bunch of barracks going down. He's going to mass these Marines up. Several scans going down by Yellow. He wants to end this now. He has a maxed army, and he's going to do what he can to try and win. Meanwhile, just taking every base on the map, even sending SCVs over to these 2 bases over here. He's going to have a total of 6 bases up, and that's a little bit intense. He's going to be sieging up outside of his opponent's natural, making sure that he never gets to go expand anywhere else. He even has a Marine sitting here in case he decides to lift off another command center. Still not much defense in here. He's not leaving any tanks behind to try and defend his main anymore. And another group of units comes in, taking out the barracks. Gonna keep moving forward, takes out the tank before it sieges. Another tank coming in to try and siege. These Vikings doing so much damage to these medevacs, and there's still a whole army sitting outside of this base. He can keep putting out small amounts of units all day. All these rallies into this whole army rallies into the tanks. Not a good sign. These units staying behind to try and hold off this army, but it's just too much. He's still at 193 supply, 30 supply ahead of his competitor. A drop coming around the map now. He possibly spotted by this Marine. You do not know if it comes. And now we have 10 Marines coming out for red. Still trying to mass Marines, even though there is a huge tank force in the middle of the map for yellow. 2 more command centers coming down for red. Meanwhile, another command center down for yellow. What's this? This is a fusion core. We are going to see battle cruisers in the second. Everyone know the fusion core dance? Do the fusion core dance. Fusion core dance! Already researching Yamato cannon. 8 Marines coming down into this corner to try and take out another command center by yellow. More Marines going out to scout the rest of the map to make sure he stays low on that advantage. But here we go, battle cruisers already on the way. More Vikings coming out from red, which will be devastating to those battle cruisers. Sensor tower back up for red to spot any more drops coming into his base. But the production by yellow is just too much. I think these 2 maxed armies can collide, and yellow can come out on top. But it's tough to say. So many tanks, you never want to run into a tank line in TVT. The micro has to be perfect for these players, but also at the same time, the macro has to just be better. And a huge drop in the middle of red's base. We have 2 tanks already in here, taking out production facilities again. Marines charging in, bit too powerful. They're charging into these tanks. It's not too good for them. They just die way too quick. Tons of infantry still left for yellow. A scan going down, I'm not sure by who, but the infantry here is taking out all of these buildings. There's really no way. Red not even retreating with what he has. He's pulling every tank back to try and handle this drop. They're going to destroy everything. Barracks going down. Starport going to go down. All of these used to be production facilities, but now there just isn't anything left. Everything dying. Sieging up these tanks just a bit too far out of reach. They can't do anything. Trying to get around this base, but all of a sudden, this drop just doing monumental damage. Chicken Bake dropping all the way down to 140 supply. Shifty still, in fact, maxed out on units, and that's because of these battle cruisers he has been making. He has 1 already done, more on the way, 3 on the way, and red can just continue to make Marines, and he's still getting those upgrades, which yellow finished a long time ago. It's going to be really tough. Yellow now even getting level 3 attack for his tanks. They're just very strong. And this drop is still in here, just destroying this main. And here comes another drop for red. These 2 players trying to drop as much as they can. He's now going to try taking out his own set of production facilities. And here comes yellow, trying to run in Marines. No medevac for these Marines, though. They could be seriously wounded. The Marines not firing on Marines, instead deciding to shoot at the barracks. The barracks barely survives, but it is on fire. Could go down any second unless he gets a SCV up there to repair. No more production facilities for red. He can't macro as well as he'd like. He's still down about 50 supply. Several command centers in his base, but he has no way to expand with these tanks just sitting outside of his base. So at this point, with all these Marines scouting out expansions and this drop taking up the main, there really isn't much I think red can do in order to come back at this point. Multiple Marines here taking out drops. We have, I believe this is 4 command centers going down for yellow. He's just lavishing in this pain at this point. He knows he's ahead. He knows he has the tank line outside of red and that he can't leave. So now with these 4 command centers going down, he can take, I believe, almost every base on the map, possibly even take a second gold. These tanks now trying to reposition, but it is very difficult. There are multiple tanks here. He's gonna oh my goodness, 6 battle cruisers, all of these tanks, all of these Marines, 3 more on the way. Here come the battle cruisers. Red is gonna be shocked to see this. All he has, all of these Marines can't even compare to what these battle cruisers can do, because all of these tanks can just go straight down, and it won't even matter. GG comes from Shake and Bake, and that will end Game 1 of UMD versus Towson.